Hi, everyone. Do you feel like your body is talking to you, but you're having a hard time listening? Believe it or not, our bodies are constantly speaking to us, sometimes even yelling at us. But not all of us know how to listen, or we don't really know how to interpret what our bodies are actually saying. It's as if our body is speaking to us in a foreign language, maybe one you took way back in high school. We can kind of tell that there are slightly familiar words and messages there, but we just don't fully get it. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 simple strategies to help you slow down, take a breath, and learn how to really listen to and understand what our bodies are trying to tell us. Hi, I'm Dr. Laurie Bruce, clinical psychologist and mindfulness coach. I'm the host of the podcast From Both Sides of the Couch, where I talk about topics related to our bodies, our emotions, and our relationships from the perspective as both a clinical psychologist as well as a client in my own therapy. Today, we're diving into a topic that every single one of us has a relationship with, whether we're aware of it or not. It's the language of the body. Your body is talking to you all the time. The question is, are you really listening? Or are you brushing past the messages, telling yourself you'll pay attention later? If you are a striver or a perfectionist like me, a recovering perfectionist, then you know that we live in a culture that values productivity and achievement. In order to accomplish our goals, sometimes we think we have to push away or ignore anything that is standing in our way. We push through the headache. We power through the exhaustion. We ignore that knot in our stomach. We pop an Advil and just keep on going. And so it's no wonder that so many of us end up anxious, burned out, and even physically hurting. But here's the thing, your body is not your enemy. It's not trying to sabotage you or slow you down or hold you back from achieving your dreams. Your body is trying to communicate with you. Stress, anxiety, and yes, even physical pain, they're all signals. They're all messages. And if you can learn to listen to them, those messages can actually become powerful guides towards health and healing. Today, I'm going to share 3 specific strategies to help you slow down, pause, and really listen to what your body is telling you. These are the practices that I use with clients, and honestly, they are practices that I've had to learn the hard way in my own life. But before we jump into those 3 strategies, let's first set the stage. When you are feeling stressed, anxious, or in pain, it is easy to think that your body is malfunctioning, but really what you are experiencing is your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do, to protect you. Stress is your body saying, something here feels overwhelming and I really need help. Anxiety is your body whispering, or sometimes shouting, I'm scanning for danger. Are we safe? Are we okay? Physical pain is your body's way of saying something is out of balance. Please pay attention. And there's really strong research to back this up. Neuroscientists have found that the same brain regions that process physical pain also process emotional pain. That's why heartbreak can literally feel like a punch in the chest. And it's also why chronic stress can turn into muscle tension, headaches, gut issues. The mind and the body are not 2 separate systems. They're one continuous conversation. Another piece of evidence. Studies on the polyvagal theory show that when your nervous system feels safe, your heart rate slows down, your breath slows down, and it deepens, and your body begins to actually repair itself. So listening to your body isn't just a nice idea. It's actually how you activate the biology of healing. And finally, Research on mindfulness keeps showing us that when you bring gentle awareness to your body without judgment, you can actually lower your cortisol, the stress hormone, and calm down the amygdala, that part of the brain that sets off alarm bells during anxiety and fear. Just noticing your body with curiosity can start to shift you from fight or flight into rest and repair. What if you could shift that framework from my body is betraying me to my body is trying to communicate with me? My body is reminding me to heal. That one mental pivot can change your entire life. So let's start with the 3 strategies. Strategy number 1 is what we can call the 90-second pause. This is deceptively simple, but profoundly powerful. When we are noticing stress, tension, fear, physical pain, we're going to try to pause for 90 seconds to check in. Instead of immediately reacting, pushing through, or distracting yourself, or spiraling into worry and catastrophizing worst case scenarios, what we're going to try to do is just pause. Pause for 90 seconds. It may not feel like you have 90 seconds to spare, but trust me, you have a minute and a half to work towards changing your life. Here's how you do it. Stop what you're doing. That's the very first thing, is just stop. When you notice that anxiety, when you notice the physical pain, we're going to just pause. And you can even close your eyes if you're in a situation that allows you to do that. Take one slow, deep breath and imagine your breath traveling all the way through your body from the top of your scalp down to each of your toes. Ask yourself, what sensations are here? Scan your body for tightness or tension or heat or discomfort. Just notice without any judgment or reaction. We are just observing. See if you can thank your body for communicating with you. Literally say in your mind, thank you, body, for letting me know I'm paying attention to you now. So the main question is, why 90 seconds? Neuroscience actually shows that emotional and physiological surges, like an anxiety spike, move through the body in about a minute and a half if we don't feed them. If we don't feed them with more panic, catastrophizing, or resistance. And this practice actually is trying to interrupt the go, go, go response that your brain is sending out when you're feeling anxious or stressed. This gives you a moment to just notice and pay attention to what's happening underneath the surface. It's only when we pause and notice that we can make a change. We can't fix what we're not aware of. Maybe we'll decide that we can notice anxiety in our body and we'll use some positive self-talk to remind us that we're safe. Maybe we'll notice some hunger pangs and realize we skipped lunch and need to pause to refuel. Maybe we'll notice some pain in our jaw and recognize that we've been clenching our teeth in anger. So many body changes are occurring all at once, and your body might be screaming at you to listen. So the more we practice the pause and body scan, the less our bodies are going to feel like they have to yell at us. They can just gently remind us. I would much rather have my body gently reminding me than yelling it. There was actually a time when my body was screaming like a maniac at me, but I was refusing to listen to it. A while back, I noticed that my hip was bothering me a little bit. I'm in my early 50s. I've heard and read that certainly with declining estrogen, our joints are hurting more and more. So originally, I just assumed it was because I was getting old, and frankly, I'm kind of out of shape. But truthfully, I just pushed through the pain. I pushed it out of my mind and I kept soldiering on. And at that time, I was in a very stressful period of my work life. And I just didn't believe, I truly did not believe that I had enough energy or enough time to attend to the pain. So I just kept telling myself, it's fine, it's fine, it's all fine. It will go away. I'm sitting too much. I'm not taking breaks between my clients. And I just kept telling myself, I'll rest when I go on my vacation. I'm sitting too much. And when I can go on vacation, I'll stretch. I will stretch, I'll move, I will be feeling so much better. But unfortunately, I realized right before my vacation, I am not going to be able to sit in this car for 14 hours. It was a 14-hour drive to Boston, my hometown. So I was just in too much pain for a 14-hour car drive. And I even realized I was in too much pain for a 3-hour flight. My hip had gotten so bad that I was having trouble even just sitting through one therapy session without having to grit my teeth. And it was very distracting. I was popping Advil like Tic Tacs, and even that was no longer working. And I ended up not being able to go on my vacation. It was the first year that I had not gone home in forever. And I was so sad and mad at myself. And it was one thing if I had injured my hip doing something fun or risky, that would make sense. But no, how could my hurt hip so much just from sitting? That sounds crazy to me. However, that pause of not going on my vacation gave me some time to really pause and finally listen to what my body was telling me. My body was trying to tell me, you are pushing too hard. You are carrying too much. You are ignoring the breaks that you desperately need and continuously putting other people's needs ahead of your own. It wasn't just my hip, it was my entire nervous system was waving the white flag. My body was not betraying me, it was actually protecting me. And it took canceling my vacation for me to finally listen. Okay, so step number one, we are pausing for 90 seconds and scanning our body. Strategy number two is what I'll call learn your body's love language. We've all heard about love languages like our acts of service or words of affirmation, but in a way, our body actually has its own love language with ourselves. When our body is communicating with us, it's giving us love. It is a loving thing to tell yourself, slow down, be gentle, be kind. But every body has its own way of communicating with us. And this is your body's love language. For some people, your body's love language is messing with your stomach and your gut. Maybe when you feel stressed or anxious, you get stomach aches or diarrhea or constipation. Maybe your body's love language is headaches. For others, it could be just feeling keyed up, like having a racing heart and hyperventilating. For me, my body's love language, lucky me, is stomach distress and jaw clenching and trouble sleeping. I'm usually an excellent sleeper, but if I'm having difficulty falling or staying asleep, then I know that my body is trying to communicate something very important to me. Spend a little time getting to know your body's love language. Here's how you can do this. Grab a piece of paper and draw a simple outline of your body. Scan your body. What are you noticing? Put an X on the body where you're feeling tension or discomfort or pain. Now write down what emotion you're feeling in this moment. Are you feeling anxious, angry, stressed, tired? Do this for several days, marking where on your body you feel discomfort and what emotion you are feeling. Over time, you're going to notice a pattern. You might notice that when you feel anxious, your stomach is uncomfortable, or you might notice when you're angry that you have a headache. By doing this regularly, you're going to learn your body's love language and be able to hear the messages earlier and earlier. Think of it like a map that is now a tool for prevention. When you notice those signals early, you can intervene before stress or anxiety explodes into burnout or pain. Strategy number three is to treat your body like your friend. This third strategy is all about your relationship with your body. Imagine being able to treat your body like you would a close friend who's trying to tell you something really important. When you feel pain, stress, or anxiety, instead of immediately trying to make it go away, get curious. Ask your body, what are you trying to tell me? What do you need right now? And then, this is the hard part, listen without judgment. Sometimes the answer is going to be practical. I need water. I need rest. Sometimes it's emotional. I feel unsafe. I need reassurance. And sometimes it's profound. I'm carrying too much. Please let me put some of this down. At first, it might feel a little awkward or a little embarrassing, but over time, this practice builds trust between you and your body. And when your body trusts you to listen, the messages will become gentler as well. I hope that these 3 tips have been helpful for you. Remember, we have to practice these skills regularly. And ideally, I encourage my clients to practice these skills when we don't need them. The worst time to practice a brand new skill is when we're emotional and stressed out about something. The best time to practice a new skill is when we're calm and we actually don't even really need the skill. That allows us to really understand the skill, and it will make it much more likely that we'll remember it when we need it. Learning to listen to your body is not about eliminating stress, anxiety, or pain. That's not possible. But it is about transforming your relationship with them. Instead of treating anxiety, stress, and pain as enemies that you need to shove away, you can begin to see them as gentle, friendly guides. And when you respond to your body with gratitude, you create a feedback loop for safety. Your nervous system will begin to settle. Before we end today, I just want to invite you to actually experience what we're talking about. So, if you're not driving or operating any heavy machinery or doing anything that requires focus, just take a moment to pause with me. Close your eyes if you can. If you don't feel comfortable, just soften your gaze. Take a nice, slow, gentle breath in through your nose, letting it fill all the way down to your toes, and exhale slowly through your mouth. Now, bring your awareness to your body. Just right now, what do you notice? Do you notice your shoulders? My back, I'm noticing. Your jaw, your stomach, without changing anything or trying to fix anything, just scan and see what's there. Maybe there's tightness. Maybe there's warmth. Maybe tingling. Maybe there's a dull ache, or maybe there's nothing. Whatever is there, it's okay. Just notice. Silently ask, body, what are you telling me right now? What do you need? And then listen. Not for words necessarily, might be words, but it might also just be a sense, a feeling. Maybe it's, I need to rest, or I need you to breathe. Maybe it's just a simple, thank you for noticing me. When you feel ready, take one more slow breath in and out, and gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, your body is constantly talking to you. It's not trying to sabotage you or prevent you from accomplishing your goals. It's trying to help you. The question is, are you willing to slow down enough to listen? Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a gentle reminder. Take care, and I will see you in the next episode.